Hi, everyone. It is 1:30. It is time to get our webinar started. And this is how to build your practice on a budget. Because this is the type of program that lots of folks need who are very, very busy. We're going to wait just another 30 to 45 seconds to give a few more people some time to connect to this program. All right, let's get started. I hope everyone can see my screen. According to my meeting controls, I am screen sharing. So if you can't see my screen, please send me a message in the chat or the questions, and I will be happy to answer those questions. If important and timely, we will answer questions as we go. If not, if it can wait till the end, then we'll wait till the end. But let's just go ahead and move through this. So my name is Joyce Bradford. I am a practice management advisor and an attorney. I work for a company called Profit Solve. Today, we are going to be talking about how to build your law firm on a budget. There are some things that you need and some things that you don't need, and some things that you don't need to buy right now. That might sound like a strange thing for a salesperson to say, which is what I am. I, again, work for a legal technology company who wants to sell software to you. But truthfully, there are some things that if you are not in a position to buy right now, they're not going to be critical. So let's talk about what's real, what's not real, and let's talk about moving forward in the best possible way to get you started. So let's just move through. Okay, so the tools you need, and you will have access to these slides. I built them in such a way so that if you're unable to pay a lot of attention today, or if you need to refer back to them later, you can. So there's a little more text on these than I would typically have, but the tools you need are your core essentials. You want to have marketing tools, yes. You want to have CRM tools, yes. But what really matters are, can I serve my clients? Can I meet my ethical requirements as set out by my state bar or Canadian Law Society? Can I manage my business? Do I understand how much money I have? And anything above and beyond that is just going to be gravy, right? Everything about long-term growth, everything about, looking forward and big project management probably is not necessary right now. So again, you're going to see a lot of text on the screen. Don't be overwhelmed, but let's talk about what each one of these things are and why they are necessary and what approximately they're going to cost you, because that matters, right? We're talking about doing this on a budget. So let's talk about that. The first thing you need is a document management tool. When you are keeping your documents somewhere, it's not just having them on your PC. That's fine, that's okay, but you really should have backups, and those really should be secure. And that's not because I'm trying to upsell you on something. I don't care what you use, but you really do need to have a way to protect yourself against natural disasters, to protect yourself against your own inherent clumsiness, if you're like me and you knock things over sometimes, and to protect yourself from bad actors, right? So if your PC or your laptop or whatever gets infected with a virus, or if you fall victim to a phishing scam and someone has encrypted your data and is demanding a ransom from you, you need to be able to get to your client documents, right? And those need to be stored in a cloud solution somewhere. So get yourself, in best case, in my opinion, get yourself a Microsoft 365 account, right? That's going to include your email, and it's going to include your documents. You need to be able to create documents for your clients. You need to be able to store them in the cloud and protect them. That matters. That's going to cost you in the neighborhood of about $19 a month. You might be able to get away with just even a little bit less than that if you can find a good deal, but at $19 a month, you can manage that. Email also built into that 365 program, so it's not going to cost anything else. Now, you might say to yourself, well, why don't I just use a Gmail account? It's free. Don't you dare use a free Gmail account. That is not the right solution for you. You should not be using that. One, if you are not paying for it, then the data that lives within that system is the product, right? Either you pay for a product, or what you create in that system is the product when it comes to software. So you better be paying for something, because you have confidential client data that you must protect, right? So use that 365 account. Yes, you can use a Google for Business account, but most solutions are going to have, as you upgrade your firm, are going to have better integrations with Office 365, and it is a better option for you to do that. One thing that I did not include here that I just want to go back and sort of caveat, if you have the budget for it, go secure a domain name. Right? You can secure a domain name for very, very little money. If you're willing to be slightly obscure, you can get something that's, $15 a year. It's not that hard to be a little bit creative and to get something that's not just one word or just the name of a large city law firm, right? You can finagle any of your URL providers to have something that will cost you $20, $25 at the outset, $50 for the entire year, but you should absolutely try to get something that's less than that. And most of the providers out there, I personally have purchased several domains from GoDaddy.com. Most of them will charge you something like $9 a year for the first 3 years or something like that. So go do it, secure that. So now you're looking at a grand total of $30 outset cost, right? You need a way to manage your cases. Now, I'm a big believer in case management software, case management technology, but it is not the most important thing. If you absolutely need to leave your law firm today, if you've had some type of personal identity crisis and you need to get out there and you need to change law firms, or you're just out of law school and you don't have a job and you need to be up and running, I would strongly advise you to get case management system of any sort, but it is not going to be the most critical thing. You can manage this by spreadsheet. And again, you can do that in a Microsoft Office solution. It's possible. That being said, by choosing a spreadsheet methodology to manage your cases, you are cheating yourself out of capturable time and data that could be and will be used for better client service. I would advise you to look at something that at least captures time and billing. So if you think about the world of case management solutions and what's going to be most expensive versus what's least expensive, where do you want to spend your time? The more you can siphon off those individual silos of a solution, time and billing, accounting, client portals, document management, the more you can siphon off from that, the smaller your solution gets, typically the less expensive your solution gets. Now that does in some cases preclude integration, but not every small solution is a bad small solution. So just don't think that, right? There's some really, really good solutions out there. And we're going to talk about one specifically, TimeSolve, which is going to cost you about $35 a month. So now we're at $65, your total outlay of capital. And you have basically what you need in your first three categories here. You absolutely do need an accounting solution. You have to have an accounting solution. Do not use QuickBooks for this, or excuse me, do not use Excel for this. QuickBooks is a fine solution. I would say it's not the best solution for legal accounting. And if you can find a way to integrate something, it might be a better option for you. But as long as you have a sync from your QuickBooks to something else, you're going to be in okay shape. Right? So let's talk about why legal accounting matters. Well, first of all, most of us are lawyers here because we're on a webinar about how to start a law firm on a budget, right? We're lawyers who are cost conscious, who know that we have some requirements in getting a law firm started, but we don't have a tremendous amount of resources, or maybe we don't want to use all of our resources right now, right? You can get QuickBooks for about $20 a month. I think right now it's $19.99. It's very inexpensive. And it's going to be a great way for you to export information from your case management solution to capture all of your time, to have a way to manage all of your invoices, to track payments when they come into your firm, your bank account, and to give you full accounting. So you have the ability to write checks, manage your accounts payable, see your general ledger, run financial reports, run budgets, all of that's in there. So now between your Microsoft 365 account and the domain that you got before that, your case management and your accounting, you're looking at about, what are we at? Where were we? $80 to get your law firm started. Okay. Because we're building a law firm on a budget, we're not going to talk about office space. We're not going to talk about business cards. We're not going to talk about giant printers. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to be very cost conscious here. And the best way to manage costs is to minimize your actual physical footprint in the world. right? So that means you need to be able to communicate with your clients electronically, and you absolutely need to be able to collect signatures electronically. So if you think about this and you say, oh, well, I don't know that I necessarily want to pay for an e-signature tool, it's a lot less than office space. It's a lot less than the cost of gas going back and forth collecting signatures. It's a lot less than, going to a bank somewhere to get, a conference room for 20 minutes. So there are solutions here, right? And again, this is about managing your costs. So have an electronic signature tool that gets you the type of data that is verifiable and that holds up. Right. So you don't want to just send someone a document and say, hey, scribble on this and, with a mouse and get it back to me. Right. You want an actual electronic signature tool. There's a big difference between that and, something like your free version of Adobe. Right. You can obviously get e-signatures in just about anything, but I would highly encourage you, like, with a lot of veracity here, encourage you to get an e-signature solution, because one, you need to be able to send documents securely to your clients, and you need to be able to have them review them and collect that signature. So there's a wonderful tool out there called LexShare that is the secure client portal. So you think to yourself, well, you've already told me to get email. Why do I also need a client portal? And that's a really good question. And this goes back to your basic requirements as an attorney and the commentary that we've had on Rule 1.1 on competency. That started with the American Bar Association and has now trickled down to just about every state bar, right? The rule is, if you're using electronic solutions or digital technology, whatever it happens to be, you have a requirement to understand the security risks associated with that. Now, that commentary, it's not a rule change, right? It's a comment on Rule 1.1 across from the ABA and then across the states. What that means is it's going to influence how a bar association interprets that rule and your compliance with it, right? So if you get brought up to the state bar and someone says, they didn't protect my data, they were hacked and my data was hacked and they didn't protect my data the way that they should have, you want to be able to say with as much gusto as you possibly can, I protected my client's data. I understood the risks of using electronic communication tools, and I mitigated those risks as far as possible, right? So let's talk about what email is. Email is a sending of a digital packet across public servers to somewhere else in the world, even if it's just in the other room in my house. That data has moved across a public email server somewhere, and a copy of that data, maybe it's encrypted, maybe it's not, that copy of that data is retained on that public email server for some period of time. So get yourself a secure client portal, because you don't want confidential client information going across public email servers. It's just not a good idea. Lawyers have resisted this for a very long time, but you absolutely need to invest in this. So again, LexShare will allow you to share your documents, and then there's an add-on for $10 on top of it that allows you to collect electronic signatures. So you're securely sharing your data. You're allowing clients to securely send data back to you, right? It's a huge data cap on this, right? It's humongous. It's like 4 gigabytes or something. I'm saying that wrong. I always get my bytes confused. I apologize on that. I know a lot of things, but bytes trip me up. But it's enormous. You can several video files can be sent in a single packet, right? Get yourself a secure sharing tool and get yourself a document manager or an e-signature tool. Courtney Rubin says, what about DocuSign? DocuSign is fine for collecting signatures, but what it's not going to have is a document storage built into it, where you can go back and easily find those documents broken down by matter. It's really, here's the document, I'm going to send it back to you via email. The other issue with DocuSign that I'm not a huge fan of is when a document is sent via DocuSign, it says it's from DocuSign. Maybe it says DocuSign is sending this to you on behalf of, XYZ law firm, but it comes from a DocuSign email address. With LexShare, what you get instead is a solution that it comes from your email address. In fact, you can actually request signatures directly out of your email. You don't even have to go somewhere else to get it. But Courtney, if you want to see what LexShare looks like, let's talk about that. But document sharing, document storage, e-signature as part of that LexShare solution is going to be $30 for a single user. It's tremendous for that. And then payments, guys, you have to, Courtney says, what does the LexShare solution look like? Great question. It looks a lot like a Dropbox account in terms of what's actually in there and the folder structure inside of it, right? But the more powerful functionality is how it actually lives in your Outlook account, and sending and sharing documents directly from there. Courtney, if you'd like for me to set you up with a demonstration and make an introduction to the LexShare people, I will do that for you. So Courtney, if you want to send me a chat with your email, I will make that introduction this afternoon. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. And then the last thing is payments. And again, guys, because we're not talking about setting up a physical office space somewhere, what I really want you to do is focus on how I can maximize my firm from a digital perspective. So payments are going to be integrated with a lot of things that you work on, or you can buy a payment solution on its own. So let's talk about this for just a second. If you choose to get case management, let's say from TimeSolve, which is again, $35 a month, you're going to have payments integrated into it. Let me pop back over to this. You're going to have payments integrated into it, and you're not going to have to pay for anything on top of it. The credit card processing fees, those are 2.75%, which is phenomenal. You're not going to get a better rate than that. But you're going to not have to pay like a subscription fee or something. So you're going to generate your invoices, and you're going to track your time in TimeSolve. You're going to send out your invoices from there. You're going to collect digital signatures on your scope of representation and your fee agreements through LexShare. You're going to collect payments that you are not having to pay for separately on top of that. So your total expenditure to just get started here, yeah, you're looking at about $90 to start a law firm, right? Little more, a little less, but about $90, which is absolutely incredible. And let's say you get your, you don't have to pay for your domain again after that, because you've already paid for it for the year. So now you're down to $80 a month to run a law firm, which is absolutely incredible. So let's talk about actually finding solutions for your firm. So maybe you've bought a couple of things so far. You already have Office, you already have a domain, right? But now you need to close the gap. Any solution that you consider should close the gap, should meet the processes of at least 2 of the holes that you have. Yeah, there are other things that you can build on top of, but those are your essential features. Again, documents, email, case management, accounting, e-signature, payments. The 5, the 6, the 6, the 6, the 6, the 6, the 6. You have to have the 6, right? If you are going to purchase something new, I would encourage you to try to bundle your solutions to minimize your cost, right? And ideally, anytime when you purchase something, your solution will be targeted to you as a legal professional and not just small businesses. The problem with small business focused software is that it ignores the requirements that you have as an attorney. Maybe it will ignore the fact that you truly do have separate accounting rules that govern your trust account solution, right? Maybe it ignores the fact that you bill in an unusual way, right? Most firms, most small businesses are just going to charge a fee for their services. Maybe they're going to charge an hourly rate. Have you ever had a pest control guy come to your house and charge on a contingency basis? No, of course not. So why would you use a solution that's just as appropriate for a pest control guy as it is for you? And I say that as someone who loves my pest control guy. His name's Brian. He comes out to my house quarterly. He's a great guy, but I'm not going to use the same software to run my business that Brian is going to use to run his business. It's just inappropriate. And then of course, cost savings. Again, bundle where you can, and every solution should be easy to use. It might not be easy for someone down the street. It might not be easy for Sherry at the hair salon to use it. It might not be easy for Jenny at your bank to use it because they aren't lawyers. They aren't running a law firm. They don't think about things the same way you do. But your software should be intuitive for you as a lawyer. Again, it's about being targeting that target audience of law firms. So let's talk about a solution here. One solution I want to talk about specifically, and there are lots of them, but one specifically that is really budget oriented is TimeSolve. So TimeSolve will not only handle that time billing, invoice creation, give you that payments solution that's built into it. It'll also integrate with some of the other things that we talked about, so you can automate your document creation. and automate workflows on a matter. It also gives you the ability to give you very nice estimates on how much something will cost. So you can give someone either a very accurate fixed fee, or you can give them a very accurate idea of how many hours something will take to give you an estimate, like hourly, this is how much I'm going to collect. I'm going to collect $5,000 as an operating retainer, meaning it's not a retainer, right? It's not a retainer because retainers are earned upon receipt. They're not paid for work that will happen in the future, right? A retainer is earned on receipt, and it's yours by virtue of being available for consultation, right? An operating retainer, on the other hand, is something where you get money in advance of services, and then you say, maybe in your fee agreement, it says due upon payment, or earned upon receipt, right? Earned upon receipt is what we typically see in fee agreements. But even then, you're going to bill against it as you work for your client, right? So you can get a really good view of what something should cost. You've also got reports that are built in there, so you can see fluctuations across your business over time, and you can see how much money is coming in. And then, of course, lots of integrations, which we've already mentioned. So let's take a look at what TimeSolve does and why it might be a good fit for your firm. The very first thing I want to talk about is time entry. So this is what a timer looks like in TimeSolve. You have your matters, which TimeSolve will help you set up, right? You have your matter, who it's for, the date that you're recording this time for. You have task codes. If you choose to build task codes, most very small law firms do not, but you absolutely can have task codes, and you can set those up. There's some defaults in there, but you can set up your own. Is it billable, non-billable? Do you want to add a different practice area for this? Do you want to add a description? Do you want to start a timer? Right? If you don't want to guesstimate your time and want to actually run a timer on something, you certainly can. And then you can click save as new, or if you are adding multiple time entries, just save and duplicate, right? You have the ability to run multiple timers on tasks simultaneously. So as you're moving back and forth between things, you can just have a timer that runs, and then when you're on the appropriate task, that start that timer again. But you don't have to track all of your time for a particular task or a particular project. Once you move away from that task, you can come back to it. Lots of abbreviations. You have budgets for matters, which is a huge thing within TimeSolve. And then the ability to organize your matters. Beyond that, you've got billing templates. And guys, this is a huge time saver. So as you are running your small law office, one thing that you don't want to think about all the time is, how am I billing this? What's the task code on this? What did I say? What was I going to charge on this? You can create super customizable bills, because probably you're going to take just about anything that comes through the door to begin with. So for all of these various practice areas, your bill for how you handle a family law matter might be very different than your bill or your invoice for a business organization matter, right? You need to have these billing templates set up. The TimeSolve folks will help you do that, and you aren't having to do that all on your own on the back end every time. If you are working with another law firm, maybe you've decided to be of counsel on something to generate a little bit more income, or you need to bring in someone else to assist you because it's a matter you've never done before. This is incredibly common. You have the ability to split an invoice between yourself and another party. And of course, getting paid online, we talked about that integration with payments, batch invoices. If you've run all your time for the month, you can actually create your invoices just with a couple of clicks and get them all out the door and send them off to your clients. It's about 4 clicks if your invoices are right. Obviously, you can check your works in progress and you can review your invoices, but after that, get them out the door. You aren't running things individually, right? Multiple report formats. You've got time entry reports. You've got expense entry reports. You have reports for matters that are missing time or entries that don't have time on them, but have been entered as something that is billable. You have your accounts receivable report, so you can see how much money is outstanding and where you need to start calling people to manage collections. You've got invoices and works in progress aging reports. You have performance reports. I mean, there's a lot here, and all of this again is for $35 a month. And then, of course, the matter cost estimation is a huge differentiator between TimeSolve and other folks in the market. So if you're looking at a couple of things, right? If you want to be very budget conscious, TimeSolve is a really good solution for you. So TimeSolve is going to come back and it's going to manage your case management. Oh, good gracious, your case management and your payments in a single solution, right? You're still going to have Office for your documents and your email. You're still going to have QuickBooks. Those are just also going to be necessary, but 2 of these can be met here. The other solution that we talked about, or that I just showed you there, was Rocket Matter. Rocket Matter is a larger solution, but provides some different functionality. It also includes things like client portals, calendars, more sophisticated task management, Kanban boards. So as you're creating different projects and you need to get some business analytics as to when things are coming in, Rocket Matter is a great solution for you. But if you are truly being budget conscious, TimeSolve is probably the way you need to go. If you are counting every penny, get TimeSolve. Courtney, I'm going to email you with some information to get you introduced to the LexShare LexSign people. If anyone else would like information about TimeSolve, Rocket Matter, other solutions that we have here within the ProfitSolve family of brands, are Cosmolex, which actually gives you case management, accounting, payments, all in a single solution, but is more than TimeSolve. I'm very happy to show that to you. So please reach out if you have any questions at all. Put questions in the chat. I'm going to hang out for a minute here. I definitely want to keep this to 30 minutes max because you guys have a lot on your plate and I recognize and respect that. But please give me a holler if I can do anything for you at all. Okay, so I'll be here for the next few minutes, but if you're ready to go, have a great day. Good luck. All right, Melissa Andrews. Yes, Melissa, we'll be sending a copy of this presentation and the slides will be there, but we can also send you a copy of the slides. Tim, yes, the recording will be available. And thank you, Malcolm. I appreciate that. Please reach out if there's anything else that I can do if you have any other questions at all. Courtney, I am crafting an email to you right now. If anyone else would like something specific sent over to them, I'm happy to make that happen. Anonymous attendee, I would love to connect with you, but I'm going to need your contact information because you are listed just as anonymous. But if you will send me a copy of your email, just put it here as a question, I will absolutely reach out to you and we'll schedule a phone call. All right, Seth. Yes, perfect. Seth, I will send you an email. Let me send this one over to Courtney and then I will send you one as well. If anybody else has anything, please let me know. Please reach out. You can always reach me at Joyce.Brafford, or you can, here we go, Joyce.Brafford@ProfitSolve.com. I'm always happy to answer questions. Okay. All right, perfect. Yep. Tim, we'll send a copy of the slides and the presentation. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Email me if I can do anything for you, Joyce.Brafford@ProfitSolve.com, or just visit us at ProfitSolve.com. Thank you.